Ladies and gentlemen, Shlomo and Shayna.
My mother's black, my dad's a Jew, but that was never good enough for you.
Now I don't know if that's all true, but what should we think when I look at you, babe?
I'm a Jew, babe.
She's a Jew, babe.
I'm a Jew, babe.
All right, welcome to the Shlomo and Shayna show. All right.
Like, they're gonna believe that. Look, we're Sunda and James, first of all right?
What are
and
you doing? We just had them all convinced they were watching the Shlomo and Shayna show.
I just can't lie to our fans. I love them too much, and we want to give you what you want. You know what I mean?
Now they know we're not
Now
Shlomo
they know,
and
they
Shayna.
know. Now they
All right.
know, they know, they know. Guess what? They know, all right?
James
this
and
is not
Sunda.
new. It's James and Sunda, and I have to tell you something. This is a great idea.
It's a great idea. Here's what's going on. As you know, you watch the network. They're buying reruns from the 50s. The Goldbergs, Jack
Why
Benny.
you look at me and say the 50s?
Because I look at you whenever I think of anything past before 1960.
Okay, fair enough.
You just remind me of black and
I'll
white.
take it. I'll be your advocate.
So they're buying all these reruns, but they want to appeal to a younger audience.
Right.
People who remember shows from the 70s.
And embraced it.
Right. So they want to get shows from the 70s, but they're too expensive. They can't afford it. So they asked us to recreate the Sonny and Cher show.
Which we know how to do.
And since we were recreating it, they wanted us to give it a little Jewish spin, a little Jewish take. There comes Shlomo and Shayna. But now you know that we're not really Shlomo and Shayna.
Now they know, they know. Little dreidel spinning we had for you, that's all.
But you know, we're not going to let that get in the way. We're not going to let it bother us. We're going to keep doing
And give you the show.
Shlomo and Shayna.
Hit it, maestro. I'm a Jew, I keep Shabbat.
I've had her kugel, a chef she's not.
I'm a Jew cause I wear a wig.
If you're a Jew, have you ever had pig?
I'm a Jew and I won't let go.
I know, I know, I know, I know.
I'm a Jew and I love to kvetch.
She's a Jew and she's here to kvetch.
Good night, everybody. God bless you.
Right. Good evening. Good evening, Sunda. You do a tremendous Cher impression.
I would have done better had I had some sleep. But the kids had me up all night. My voice was all cracked. And
Now you're recreating the cracked voice.
I'm starting to sound like you.
Oh my God! Hello, welcome
Hello,
to the
welcome
James
to the
and Sunda
Shayna.
show. How
Yes,
you
the
doing?
James and Sunda show.
Actually,
right?
there's some big news in the world of Cher.
I love Cher.
I
Don't
love
talk about
Cher
Cher.
too. Well, no, I heard she was going to put up the money. And
She's doing a mitzvah.
She's doing a Cher is doing a mitzvah.
She's doing a mitzvah.
She's going to buy
Chaz.
She's going to buy Chaz a penis.
Yes, and
This
I'm
is
happy
a true
about
story.
that.
It's
It's a
reported
true
by the
story.
National
Well,
Enquirer.
that's right, the
right?
National Enquirer.
And she's going to spend a lot of money for one, which is why I've decided to put mine on eBay. I'm going to put mine on eBay, see what I could get for it. It's like new,
You can get a giggle.
you know? It's like new.
You can get a giggle for
I
it.
get a giggle for maybe I can make a little money with this thing.
So what do you give it to Chaz? What's Chaz giving
Where
you?
else is she going to get one if not eBay or Craigslist? Now, where's she going to get one from?
And then what are you going to get? The beard?
The beard? What do you
Yeah,
mean?
because she's able to grow a beard and you can't.
I'll be able to soon once I hit puberty.
This is true, James.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. I mean, I'm so excited about her being supportive of Chaz, honestly, because that's like you don't wake up one morning, beautiful, blonde hair, blue-eyed, and be like, oh my God, I think I want to be a man.
No,
I just
of
don't think it
course.
happens. I don't think it happens like that. I mean, I could be wrong, but I mean, when you had your sex change, how'd you feel?
Well, when I'm not as big as Cher as a family, so nobody really cared when I had mine. I was a beautiful and happy woman, but it just something wasn't right. You know what I mean? I never felt like it was right. But you see, I didn't have to go out and buy any extra organ pieces or parts or anything. They just took things
away from me
and used other parts of my body to create what was missing.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that.
I was able to use my own stuff to make what needed to be made. I don't understand why Cher can't do the same.
Well, what is she going to give them? I'll tell you. She knows.
I don't get it. Is it the donor people, the organ donor people on the license? When one of them gets killed, they take it. And
I don't know, but do you think it'll be a Jewish one or a black one?
Can she get a black one?
Can she get a black one?
Can she pick
anyone she wants?
That's
is the question.
Does it work like that?
I don't remember back.
Is it like shopping? Do you look at like a list of them?
I don't know how you would do it, but I just wish that.
Awesome. I want to know more.
Let me just tell you, I am Cher's biggest fan, and Chastity was just a beautiful little girl. I looked at all the reruns from back in the day, and you know what? I just feel for the whole family right now.
Well, listen, for the right price, mine's for sale. Because here's what I'll do: I'll take the Cher money, and then I'll just go buy another one that's cheaper.
And I'll just marry Cher because I think she's great.
Okay.
Did I put that out there?
We have a great show today. We really do. And hopefully, with future shows, as the network decides what other shows from the 70s they want us to recreate, we'll be able to give them some more Shlomo and Shayna and stuff like that.
Right. You kind of look like Harvey Korman.
Do I?
And I could be Carol Burnett. Who knows?
Yeah, and you look like her too. Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
You look like her, Carol Burnett.
Why couldn't I look like Lola Falana?
I don't know who that is.
All right, so guys, as always.
Well, we have a great show. We've got from the Wizards of Waverly Place, we got Dan Benson here tonight.
Yeah.
We got celebrity chef Kurt. And joining us for This Week in Anti-Semitism, we've got Mark Zaffron.
Right.
He's
a real fan of Jimmy Carter's.
He's a huge Jimmy Carter fan. You're going to love the show. Stick around. We will be right back.
And we got you.
Straight ahead, a Sunda spectacle on Hollywood's Walk of Fame. As James and Sunda continues.
Welcome back. We are so excited about the sponsor of our show this week. This is a tremendous product.
Tremendous.
It really is. It is the iPad.
Oi!
They also make the iPhone. It's not user friendly. It's user frustrating. I don't know if you have any issues with your iPhones or iPads, but the iPad, I don't even know how to turn it on.
You can't. Oi!
It's already locked on.
Go on, do it again. Oi!
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 I can't use this thing. This is terrible. All right. Anyway. Our first guest plays Zeke Beakerman on The Wizards of Waverly Place. Please welcome Dan Benson.
Yeah.
Dan, do you own an iPhone?
I had one. I had the 3G. I upgraded. I'm a Droid man now.
I see.
Droid. Did you hear what we asked you?
If you had an iPad or an iPhone.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay,
well, I mean,
Do you know what that means?
Oi!
Yes.
I've had some oi problems before.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I'm telling you something. It's so frustrating, but it's so great to have you here. It was interesting because James had a girlfriend from Dubai who was sitting down. I'll never forget. She was laughing so hard. Remember that day?
She was watching you.
Right. She was watching you, and she
Right.
said, "Oh my goodness, she's Australian." She says, "My favorite show."
Yeah, it's her favorite show.
Oh,
Yes.
oh,
It's
that
so
makes me
good.
feel good.
And I'm supposed to be funny
Feel
too,
good.
but it's very hard to compete. You
Hey,
just
well,
have
I
that
mean,
natural
I walked
thing
into
going.
Disney's audition room and I was like, oh, and they were like, we love you. And I was like, really? That was the weirdest thing I've ever done in an audition. They were like, we love it.
Well, that's the thing, right? You started out as
The bigger it is, the crazier it is. Kids love it. There's no limit to how weird and crazy you can be, and kids will laugh.
But you really
amazing.
showed them how you just had all this comedic talent, right? Because you kind of created the character
It
yourself.
actually, it started off as friend number 1.
Yeah, that's what I
and then they were like, all right, you're coming back and you can be Zach now. And then they came out with Zach and Cody. Like, no, you can't be Zach anymore. Zeke, you can be Zeke. And I was like, all right, I have a name, great.
The network could only handle one Zach.
Right. They needed to,
Well,
we got they have our superstars, and then I'm kind of the underdog in the Disney world, fighting.
You are not the underdog. You have so many fans. Were you ever a dancer because you have such great movement?
I actually was a competitive gymnast for 9 years.
Really?
So that's where I learned how to fall. That's why Zeke is always like, whoa, poof, and hitting the ground. And so I learned how to not hurt myself while doing it. And actually, I was getting into stunts for a while before the comedy thing took off more.
So what's the craziest stunt you've ever done?
I have done a 35-foot high fall onto like a little mat. And we were practicing in this guy's backyard, and he just has like a 50-foot high fall in his backyard, and it's just randomly, in Pasadena or something. And I was like, oh, that's normal. Yeah, that's reasonable. And people are just jumping off. It was crazy.
What do you think about, you have a girlfriend that says that's okay, jump?
Well, you don't tell your girlfriend about that sort of thing. You kind of slip it in later after you've already done it. Like, by the way, 35-foot free fall happened.
Weren't you petrified? I'm afraid of going down the stairs.
It was terrifying.
We ask all our guests this: how many emergency room visits?
Actually, I've never broken a bone.
Wow.
Wow.
I mean, I wish there was some wood to knock on this. But,
I don't know if you've ever played out sick.
Well, silicone,
you wouldn't
maybe.
win.
But you know what?
No, I was saying if he played out sick, he wouldn't win with that. No
He
emergency
wouldn't win
room
out
visits.
sick, no, because James has out sicked everyone. He's young.
He's too healthy.
vibrant,
You're very
he's
too healthy. You're too healthy.
I don't know what that was. That was my healthy.
That was your healthy thing.
That's the health.
I want to know more about the gymnastics. So do you think that helped you get into acting?
It definitely helped me. When I talk to kids and try and get kids into acting, one of the things I really like to say is don't stop playing the sports. Don't stop doing those other activities that you like doing, because as an actor, you'll find a role that is specializing in one thing or another. And so, like, if I went out for a gymnast role, I'd have a big advantage over other actors who don't have the experience. I can do a standing backflip and other things where, you can show them instantaneous results, so you're not faking it, and so you can perform roles that kind of fit who you are as a person. If you're a soccer player, go out for the roles that, play soccer and other things. So.
Can you still do backflip?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Absolutely.
I'm not going to ask you to do it here because I can't.
Competitive gymnastics is like more cutthroat than Hollywood, right?
It's pretty intense, and if you're not, incredible by the age of 12, you're pretty much, you have no chance of making the Olympics. And I was good, but there's kids who are they're designed to be Olympian gymnasts, and they could just do things, and they just made me look terrible. I'm pretty good, but.
Do you still have Olympic dreams?
No, I gave those up. I gave those up when I got into the acting world, but that's okay. I'm gaining another side,
Do you mind taking a question from one of the executives here at the network?
Absolutely.
They watch the show and they have a question for
absolutely.
you.
Absolutely.
Here's the president of our network.
So, Dan, you know comedy, you're funny. Teach these medical wannabe comics comedy.
Well, there's no one right way to teach comedy, and actually each person has their own style, So I feel like these guys have their own flair, that makes you laugh. And I'm just the weird version, that makes you guys laugh, specifically. I think I got you guys pinned. Right.
Are you dating Harper, who plays Harper? Yeah.
Jennifer Stone plays Harper on the show, and she is a great girl. We are not really dating. I found my girlfriend on the show, actually. My girlfriend I met 3 years ago. She had a one-liner on the show. And I was like, oh, I'm kind of a big shot around here. Do you want to go out sometime? And she was like, you're a dork. Like, I know you.
But unlike you, she wasn't able to turn it into an entire character.
No, that was a difference. I don't kind of talk about that.
Well, Dan, we really appreciate you being on the show. We'd love for you to sign our wall, which we just started this season. So there's only a couple of signatures on it.
All right, well, I'm going to go sign the wall.
Thank you, Dan Benson, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being on the show. All right, we will be right back.
And a little heart.
Be sure to like us on Facebook at The James and Sunda Show.
All right. Believe it or not, Sunda and I have more to show you from our time on Hollywood Boulevard.
And it was a lot of fun.
We're lucky to be alive. We really are. We're lucky to be alive.
But you be the judge.
You be the judge. Check it out.
We are James and Sunda. I play Sunda. And we have a show on JLTV which airs every Wednesday night, and so we decided we'd come out and see how many people know about Jewish life. We're trying to get him together with somebody who has blue eyes. And James smiled. What's your come on line?
That's the problem. I don't have a come on line all these years, and I haven't properly developed one. Is this making you? Are you uncomfortable? That's my come on line.
This is just, I feel like I'm not doing my job.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah, she should work.
Are you tourists? Are you touring? No, I need a green card. Help me. Please help me. I'm young. All right, I'm Russian. Right, you are not part of this program. Is he? Is he? Well, have you guys ever done like sparring together? Like, have you ever taken? Oh, this is cool. Wow.
Mad at me for killing his rep.
No. But thank God you're okay, because in New York you were falling down all over the place.
Spider-Man has an attitude. He was giving us a hard time. He thinks he really is Spider-Man. I think, sometimes.
On you?
I don't know what he was trying to do. I tell you, I think he's drinking something else.
So. Let's turn on the music.
Oh, you want to turn on the music?
Yeah.
I got you, girl.
Yeah, I'm going to challenge him.
Oh, all right.
This is a challenge.
I got you, girl.
And then we're going to bring James Harrison because, he
I'm going to give you a easy move. You ready? You ready,
easy
girl?
move. You guys ready? Help me.
Hey, sleepy. Are you ready? Here we go, girl.
Okay. This is trouble.
Shaggy, how was her dancing? I mean, when you were watching her dancing, what were you thinking?
When I'm watching her? Yeah. I mean, I just saw the booty, that's it.
What were you thinking?
I mean, it's nice. It's cool.
Boom.
Boom, yeah.
Boom. Okay.
Are you going to watch our show from now on, if you have a chance, on Wednesday nights? What's JLTV. All Jews, all the wine.
That day when we were out there shooting, right? And
Yes.
there were those two women dressed up as, I don't know what characters they were, but they were dressed very provocatively.
They were after me.
And they were holding an umbrella so nobody would take photos of them.
What was the point?
But they make money by people taking photos with them, right?
Right.
But they didn't want people to sneak a photo.
No, what they want people to do is to pay them for other services.
Now, if the thing had escalated, if the confrontation between you and the
other character.
the slutty character had escalated, would you have fought her?
I would have knocked her down. I would have pulled off her wig. I would have beat her with her own pump. Yes. And would you have helped me? No.
Absolutely. Of course I would have. I would have rooted you on. I would have clapped.
No, you
I
would have
said,
called
"Get us,
911."
Sunda." Now, so you were ready to fight. Were you hoping to fight? Because I got the impression, and
No,
I think
wasn't hoping.
Ray
Can I
and
tell you
Ruben
something?
got the impression that you wanted to fight.
The producer and director
You wanted
of
to
this
fight.
show did not think I wanted to fight, but they
Ray
knew.
physically lifted you up and carried you away.
Because you physically couldn't hold a microphone, so you couldn't do it.
I'm hernia prone. I say this every week. I'm hernia prone.
Right, but it wasn't like I was starting with her. If you're not interested, fine, walk away.
But I thought she very nicely said to you,
And what did I say back?
You said, we don't care about you guys anyway, or
Exactly, we didn't care about them.
something.
They weren't real characters.
They weren't real characters. I don't know what they were doing. I don't know what they're doing on Hollywood Boulevard DT, but they want more than pictures. They're looking
They
to
want
make
more than
$5
pictures.
for
And
a
then
photo.
she kept saying, like things like, are you impaired? Are you impaired?
But then you got her because she said something to you about you being a rude woman. You're a very rude woman, and you said, "Who said I'm a woman?"
And then she was
she
thrown off.
had no idea what to say. back.
What do you
She
say
had
to
no
that?
idea
What do you
to
say? Because then you start to question it yourself. Is this a woman?
But you have a temper. let's just come out and say it. You have a temper.
I've never lost my temper.
You're a little hot-headed.
I keep my
sometimes.
temper.
You think so?
Right here, baby. Right here.
Right there.
Right there.
Okay. So you don't get into physical altercations all that much. You don't.
No. The last was an Armenian nanny.
Okay. Yeah.
And she lost.
What'd she lose? Which
She
body
lost.
part?
I don't know. A tooth.
She lost a tooth?
Yeah, that's right. She should leave. She should mess around with my kids.
She shouldn't. What'd she do to your kids?
She was supposed to be watching 2 kids, and they were biting my daughter's toe.
Oh my God, children! How old were the children biting the toe?
4 years old. The baby was 4 years old. She's screaming in pain, and then the woman said I made lie on her. Another one with the make a lie on me. Let me tell you something. I pulled her right by the sideburns. I don't need it.
You pulled the Armenian woman by the sideburns.
That's right. That's right. I took her down.
Wow, in front of the
I
children?
took her down in front of the children, in front of the toddlers, the teachers, everybody at this indoor playground. Let me tell you something. I called them back and said, don't worry. I spoke with my husband, who's an attorney, and I'm not going to sue you.
You're not going to sue her for making you beat her up.
I said, I'm not going to sue the establishment where my daughter had her toe bitten.
What about for beating her up, though?
No, I had to get out of that. So
you had to get out of it.
Yeah, I had to go because my husband gets mad.
Well, it's good to see that you were able to control your anger and just...
Right. I don't have anger issues.
You don't have anger issues.
No, I just take it all. I just let it go, man. What do you do, hold it in and get an ulcer and then have gallbladder surgery? Let it go.
Sunda, tell us, who are you fighting with this week?
My neighbor, who's absolutely crazy. I mean, she's really out of her mind this time.
Who else?
My neighbor upstairs from me, who is absolutely crazy and just can't get a hold of herself. I mean, not only, can I just say this quickly? I'm fighting with invisible neighbors now because on the 7th floor, and I live on the 4th floor, they are doing construction, okay? Which has now knocked the cabinets out of my kitchen. I mean, I'm living in a house like this. I call the insurance company. They're drilling, and the mirrors start falling off the wall on the insurance company adjuster. Suppose he sues me for a falling mirror. And then I find out, guess who sold them the unit? The neighbor on the 5th floor, right? So
She's
there
out
you
to
go.
get you. I think it's all just a form of...
She's a psycho.
It's a form
I cannot say that
torture.
I cannot call my neighbor a psycho.
Psychette. Can we beep that? Can we beep that out?
She's a psychette.
We got to take a break, but when we come back, we have a chef. Chef Kurt is here from the Hollywood Pasta Company.
You know, I heard about him. I'm excited to meet him, by the way.
Yes. Maybe he'll bring us some food. I'm starving.
Well, you look like you could use a sandwich.
I could use a sandwich. Let me get a sandwich. We'll be right back with Chef Kurt.
Okay.
Check out more content online at our webpage, jamesandsunda.com.
Joining us now on the program, we have chef to celebrities and presidents. Please welcome Chef Kurt.
Thank you very much.
You were so excited. You were so excited to find out that he was coming here. Why was that?
Well, because I've been eating your cooking for a very long time.
See? So now you have to come to a restaurant.
Now I want to know what's better, what's out there.
Now you have to come to our restaurant.
Oh, we will.
The Hollywood Pasta Company
Hollywood Pasta
in Burbank.
Company, right.
Very exciting.
That would be our first time there.
Yeah, we've not been.
No one invited us. They said you had to be like high caliber and celebrities.
Well,
go
you
there.
are.
You
are high caliber.
Thank you. So you can't come. So we wanted to ask you. What we understand is that you've. I mean, like, how do you get these gigs to cook for really high level?
Well, you pay your dues. You know, you go to chef school. You work in various restaurants. I worked at the Moulin Rouge in France when I was 18. And then I came to America. I worked at hotels, and from there, it's a stepping stone. Obviously, you get certain recognition. I was at the Waldorf for a while. I was at Disney World in Florida. So you get to meet people, and they recognize that you know a little bit about cooking, and one day the phone rings.
And just
that's the call.
Do you audition dishes
No, I never did. President Reagan's team, they called me one time and they said that they wanted me to cook for him, and I traveled with the president.
Now, did he? Had
Were you nervous?
Something?
No.
But had he eaten something you had made, and he was like, "I really like that. Get that guy on the phone."
Actually, I did a big event in San Diego for National Shipbuilding Company when they built the USS Reagan. And I did one of his famous dishes there, and he liked it. And he said, well, let's go.
Hey,
let's go.
That's it. I saw the layout you did, by the way.
You did, huh?
I mean, they had pictures of it, and it was like, how do you choreograph the color scheme? It's a lot has to do with the color scheme that makes it look.
You know, it really is experience. You know, after chef school, you have to have experience in different hotels. You have to work in different restaurants to really get, and on different levels, and work with different chefs. You know, I was at Taverna Green in New York for a while. It was a great restaurant.
Loved it.
I worked for great people there. So Waldorf Astoria, you know, these are great places, and you learn and you work with other chefs that have a lot of experience.
So which celebrity has the biggest appetite?
That's tough. That's tough.
Yeah.
But I think
put it down?
I think Rock Hudson was a great person, and he could eat. He was a big guy, he was a tall guy, and he could really eat. You know.
He had a voracious appetite for a lot of things. Rock.
Yeah,
he was beautiful.
Well, you have to understand. At the time I served him, you know, nobody knew anything about him other than he was a movie star. But he was a great person to serve.
What about Lucille Ball?
Never met her.
Wow.
Never met her. But you know, in our industry, when you do events, you meet so many different people, and sometimes you don't even know who they are, and they're very important. You know, like
us,
like a director or producer. Right. You don't know, but you get to know people after a while. So.
But right now you're at the Hollywood Pasta Company.
Right.
That's your main focus.
Right.
So tell us a little bit about that. It's Italian.
My partner Emil Hormozi, who's sitting over there laughing right now, we started the restaurant. Not at me, probably. We started the restaurant about 3 months ago. We planned it for about a year. It's a small restaurant, seats about 50 inside, 20 outside, mainly Italian and fresh seafood, some steaks. And we're very proud of the restaurant. It's different. It's a beautiful concept. We have reasonable prices, very high quality food, and great portions. And the restaurant inside is beautiful. My partner designed the restaurant. He's a designer, and I do the cooking. So he's done, and I'm still working.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
Yeah.
You know what? The most. Are we going to have a second part with him? Or?
We have about a minute to go.
Because I have to just say one thing. I have to say one thing. James's father says the best pastries are German. Why is that?
Is this true? I love schlag.
You know why? Because the ingredients are so true. The pastries you get here in most places, they're from a mix. The cream is imitation. And Germans, they have different standards. You know, all the butter is real and the cream is real and everything from scratch.
Let him sign the wall.
All right, thank you very much, Kurt.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. It's such a pleasure having you.
So you come next week, huh?
Yeah, we will.
Let me give you my card here.
Please do.
And bring your kids.
Oh, I'll bring my kids.
Your family.
Thank you very much.
Your husbands.
My husbands. Now we got some Mormon.
3803 West Burbank Boulevard.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Follow us on Twitter @James and Sunda.
Well, it is that time again. It is time for another edition of This Week in Anti-Semitism. And as you know, the anti-Semites, they are watching us, and so we're watching them. And last season, one of our most popular guests for this segment has returned. Mark Zaffron is here.
Thank you for having me.
Attorney at law. Last season you were on the show and you just were just one of our best anti-Semitism guests. We're glad to have you back.
That's because I'm watching them.
You are watching them. You are watching them. And here's the first story. We're going to start right here in America, in Ohio.
Ah, of course.
Why, of
but
course?
not Shaker Heights.
No, we're going to go to Westlake, I believe it's called. Westlake, Ohio. And Katy Perry's father, who's a reverend at a church, he was given a sermon, and he said, "You know how to make the Jews jealous? Have some money, honey." That is what Keith Hudson said. He said, you go to LA and they all own the Rolexes and the diamonds and where we live, and it's just so rich it smells. You ever smell rich? They're all Jews. Hallelujah, amen.
Does he mean the Jews smell or that money smells?
I don't know what he meant.
Or the Jews smell of money.
It doesn't sound like he likes Jews all that much.
You know, John Lithgow never would have done that in Footloose, you know.
Probably
Even
not.
though his daughter, you know, surprising. She wants to go off to Hollywood. Typical with these ministers' daughters. They run off to go to Hollywood. That's what he's not upset with Jews.
Who, Keith Hudson?
Yeah, he's upset with his daughter.
Katie's dad.
He's upset. Katie's dad is upset with Katie.
This is tremendous insight.
Absolutely. He just is upset that she's not home singing in the choir, marrying some guy from Westlake, Ohio, being a minister or something, going to a Christian college.
He's upset.
So he's upset that she's in Hollywood in the music business. So the object of his hatred, of course, is Jews. Hollywood equals Jews, Jews equal Hollywood. So really, this is an aggression that he's putting elsewhere.
It's displaced.
He really doesn't hate Jews.
It's displaced.
Any more than any other minister from Ohio.
Do you accept his apology? Because what he said here in his apology, Reverend Hudson, he said that he meant to compliment the Jewish people's prosperity, and that when you make money, it makes Jews jealous. That's all he meant.
Yeah, because his daughter's people called him and said, we're going to stop payment on that donation we just made to the church. There's no real apology there.
There's no real apology.
No, anti-Semites don't mean it when they say we're sorry. They mean we're sorry you hurt us.
All right.
Oh, all right.
See? There you go.
That's nice. That's a soft spot.
For whom?
You know, Keith Hudson should call you and ask him you should be representing him. You should be his publicist.
What? He wants forgiveness, right?
I don't know.
He's going to make tshuva. He's going to have a really heartfelt, I'm sorry that I said that you people have too much money.
And is that really an insult?
Yes.
Oh, it is. Okay.
I mean,
no, to say that Jews have money?
No. You're equating one ethnic group with money, and then you're going to go and give what? Your speech on the sermon on Jesus kicking the moneylenders out of the temple?
I like how he ended it with hallelujah,
poverty is a wonderful virtue. You know, they sing a psalm of poverty. I mean, come on.
All right, well, let's go to England. Let's go to England.
Talking about reverends, just as an aside,
please.
you remember the reverend down in that had the Bible church down in Louisiana?
Okay.
But his father, it was Jimmy Swaggart. Jimmy Swaggart had this whole church in Baton Rouge. His father and his father's twin brother were the biggest bootleggers, and
he thought you were
and owners of houses of ill repute in Baton Rouge. The father killed the brother.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really?
And the church was always used, as they say, something to do with the family business.
And what is the family business?
We don't talk about that.
We don't talk about that.
Maybe it's toaster ovens.
It could be toaster ovens, right?
Father killed the
Father
brother.
killed the twin brother in an argument over money.
Can we Google this?
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
You can. It's one of those down there. If we had a friend in New York, Hal. Hal grew up with these people down there, and he had this big Bible church. Remember he was one of the big. What was it? 20 years ago.
So it seems like religion and churches is just great fronts for other things.
Certainly for passing money through.
For laundering money.
I didn't say that.
You didn't say that.
This is national television.
Passing
I
money.
said passing.
Passing money, right. All right, well, let's go to England, all right?
Smarter than
Because
me.
you've spent time in England, right? The London School of Economics.
That's for a summer program.
For a summer program, right? Well, at your former summer program, a Jewish student was playing a card game with non-Jewish students, and the card game had a Nazi flair to it. They arranged the cards in swastika formations, and a lot of, furor stuff went on, and he didn't want to play the Jew, so they beat him up. They broke
Not
his
surprising.
nose.
You know,
They
Mick
broke his
Jagger went
nose.
there.
Now, did they break his
Yeah,
nose?
Mick Jagger went to London School of Economics.
Was he in this card game?
It might have been. You know what? Because it's a hotbed of British anti-Semitism. British hate Jews.
They do. When I was there,
The
I felt
worst.
that
They hate
too.
Jews.
They really do. When I was there, they told me, don't walk through the park with a yarmulke, they'll get you.
I remember once we had some guy over for Rosh Hashanah. He refused to admit when Sunda met him that he was Jewish.
Yeah, right.
And he came out of the closet when everybody was singing.
Jews are in the closet in England.
He said there were two kids in his school that were Jewish, and they hated each other, but they had to stick together because they were the only two Jews.
Now, let me ask you this. I can't start my morning without reading the Tehran Times. How about you?
I can avoid it.
You avoid the Tehran Times?
Yeah, I can avoid it. I read the Post instead.
You read the Post? Oh, I get a cup of coffee, I sit down, I read the Tehran Times. Sunda, you read
Really?
it? Really?
Really?
Yeah. I don't know if you're not a subscriber, and the Sunday Tehran Times is just the best.
I know the crossword puzzle comes in the shape of a swastika.
Look, I'm a big fan. It's great journalism. Okay.
All true.
All true. There's nothing in there. It's not government run. And this is what's going on in Tehran. If you're not reading the Tehran Times, they're going to have a conference to review the influence of the Zionist regime on Hollywood. So they're going to figure that all out in Tehran over the next coming weeks. And I was wondering if either of you were attending. According to this, Tony Blair's sister-in-law will be there.
And Mel Gibson.
I'm sure a lot of his latest films will be shown at the film festival. So they believe, obviously, that Hollywood is run by the Zionists, and it's all just Zionist propaganda, and they're going to have a conference to put an end to this.
And you want my comment?
I want your comment.
On which comment do you want to hear about? The conference or Hollywood run by Zionists, or whether the Jews in Hollywood are Zionists?
Cinema of Hollywood is trying to promote the idea of conciliation between Satan and man. This is what the Zionists in Hollywood are doing, according to the Tehran Times. So I'd like your thoughts on this. And then they claim that Iranian cinema is it's an awakening.
An awakening to God, right? Okay, so let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Hollywood supports Obama. Obama doesn't support Israel. So Hollywood is Zionist or non-Zionist?
Hollywood is run by I think the Tehran Times.
So then why are they giving money to Obama, who's clearly pro-Palestinian?
We're going to take a break, and when we come back, okay, fine, we'll move on. We'll move on, because now we're all going to get audited, which is fine. Obama and the Zionist regime, and you sound like you're in Iran, actually. Okay. Let's go to this one. All Jews, no, I shouldn't read this out loud, but here's this one.
Don't.
I'm a little thrown
Where is this
off,
from?
But this is as reported by the Mail Online, but this happened in Manhattan. This was a Jewish guy, okay? And he started painting swastikas and Jews have to die on his own family's property. Yeah. And they didn't know it was a Jew who did it, but eventually they found out it was a Jew who did this. And he did it when he called his mother, who's 80. Clearly he doesn't like his mother.
I heard about this guy.
You heard about this guy, right?
Yeah.
And
you know?
He did it to 2 other elderly ladies as well.
He must be a member of my family.
And what it is he used to work in the family business, which imports and exports socks. So I'm thinking maybe the sock business is very stressful. I don't know. Maybe the sock business gets you to hate Jews. If you're a Jew, you hate yourself, you hate your family.
Because you're always losing a sock.
I don't know, but this is what it was. It's maybe the sock business got to him and he lost his mind.
Or he lost the business.
Or he lost the business.
Or he lost the business. But anyway, it's geared towards elderly women and the Jews.
Who has the money?
Yeah, who has the money?
Probably his mother.
His mother. So she didn't. When he was losing money in the business, she didn't give him out enough money.
But maybe she gave him socks. Maybe he's got some socks.
He has plenty of socks because he couldn't sell them. That's why he had to put SWAT stickers all over above his walls.
Well, as you were talking before about Jimmy Swaggart, in other countries they have their own televangelists as well. And in Egypt, a very popular televangelist, an Egyptian cleric, he's been going on TV and talking about the extermination of the Jews. And as there's a big regime change going on in Egypt right now, one of their most popular television figures is preaching death to the Jews. So
I'm surprised.
The Jews are a cancer, they're a catastrophe, and there's nothing in the world that hasn't happened that's terrible that is not the handiwork of the Jews.
Little known fact.
Yeah.
Tell us.
All right. So we all know about the Muslim Brotherhood in Egypt.
Of course.
Doing very well in the elections.
Is
and
Obama
of course,
behind that?
No, but Jimmy Carter.
I knew someone was behind it.
Jimmy Carter was recently there discussing with the Muslim Brotherhood their program for taking over Egypt, and is a great supporter of the Muslim Brotherhood and think they're a force for beneficial change in Egypt.
Okay.
Of course, there are about 3.5 million Coptic Christians who would probably disagree with them. The Jews they got rid of a long time ago. So I don't know which Jews in Egypt he's talking about exterminating. What are there, 3 or 4 left?
Oh, okay, well.
Why do you think when you're on this segment of the show, Sunda just kind of sits back and watches us?
Because she's embarrassed.
I'm not embarrassed. Actually, it is really an honor to have you here.
He's the best. He's the best guest on This Week in Anti-Semitism.
Would you sign our wall?
Oh, of course.
Thank you very much. Please sign the wall.
Maybe say something nice about Carter and Obama and how much you love them.
There you go.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will be right back. You don't want to miss it.
Email us your comments at jamesandsunda@gmail.com.
You know what I love about working with you, Sunda? As the producer counts us back from the break and he goes 5, 4. When he gets to 3, you always out of the side of your mouth, you go, what are we doing? I think that's amazing.
To make you feel important.
To make me feel important.
Yes,
So what are we doing? What are we doing right now?
We're doing a show. We're doing a live show.
Yes,
it's called
yes,
James
we're doing a
and
show.
Sunda. It should be Sunda and James. And we are going to talk about so many funny things.
That's what we're doing right now?
Yeah.
Well, you're close. We are doing a show.
Right.
It should be called Sunda and James.
It should be.
We are going to talk.
Instead, it should be.
First of all, are you worried we're going to get in trouble from the last segment?
By who?
The anti-Semitism with Mark Zaffron. Are you concerned? Are you worried?
Yeah, I'm concerned. He's married to a black woman. He can't say things like that.
That was amazing, wasn't it?
Amazing.
I think I thought it was tremendous.
When I run for president, this is my question.
Okay, when you run for president, he's gonna have a lot of things to say about you.
And things to say about me. He's gonna say like I'm anti-Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying?
Well, what is your Brooklyn policy? Are you pro or anti-Brooklyn?
Well, now that all the in-laws are out of Brooklyn, I'm pro-Brooklyn.
You're very pro-Brooklyn.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm pro-Brooklyn.
So the demographics of Brooklyn have changed over the last couple of years.
They have changed, yeah.
And now
Although I was supposed to be buried in Brooklyn, but now some things have changed with the plots.
What happened with the plots?
Oh, the family plots?
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's a whole other segment.
You're not going to be buried in Brooklyn anymore?
No, I'm not going to be buried in Brooklyn anymore.
How did that happen? Don't you own the plot?
I think somebody on his side of the family took over my plot. I have nowhere to be buried. Wow. And I can't be cremated because I'm a Jew.
You can't be cremated.
No.
And you can be embalmed. We could sort of keep you here in the studio. We could replace you with the silhouette. Just put you right there and it could be just either James and you could still be Sunda. And
I could still be James and Sunda. Do you think that they're out to get me still?
The in-laws?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Definitely,
they
I think so too.
They took away your plot.
My plot.
That's worse than suing you.
That's worse.
Not to have a place to be buried when you die.
Isn't that terrible?
That's a shanda.
My plot's gone.
That is just horrible.
That's
just terrible.
Oh,
I still just can't get over that.
I know. And did you know? And we know since that season, my mother-in-law passed away. Right?
Yes, your mother-in-law has passed away.
Right, and so
you
they
finally
took the
did
recipes.
It. You finally did it.
I didn't do it. I didn't give her the stress that made her die. They brought her into the lawsuit. Now look what happened.
And what did she leave you in the will?
She left me memories.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, like the poisoned corners of my mind. The way we was. No, the way we wasn't. That's what it's more like.
Well, now she's literally dead to you.
She's definitely dead.
She's definitely dead,
She's definitely dead. So she can't come back next season. And let's see what they'll do for me next season. Let's see what they have plotted. Because they plan, they put these things on blogs.
So they knew the show was coming back, so they take the plot away.
Who do you think is sending those horrible letters?
When we come back for season 4, how can they get you then?
Right, how can they get us? They're always trying to get us, and we get letters, and we know it's from them because,
we know it's from them,
right, they call me an old bag, they tell me that they say she's not funny, they have the wrong days of my appearances.
Sounds like it could be from me.
This is true. Maybe you're related to them because my sister-in-law was a fan of yours.
Well, that's nice to know. What is that? Who knows what that means, though? What she's going to do to me?
She's going to clog you a holler.
Oh, my God. All right, well, that's the end of this week's show.
Yes, and we will see you soon and again and again and again.
You'll be watching the same stuff over and over and over again. Have a good night.
Bye.